Coming to you live at 08 hours, 7 minutes, Thursday, August 22nd. Good morning, grand rising, great awakening. All the ways to get up in the morning to know you made it through another day. Now, last night, yesterday, last week, last month, you made choices and decisions that were good. You're going to continue. Or you made a choice or decision that wasn't good for you. But what you are not going to allow yourself to do is to wallow, to feel shame or regret of what you've done. But that don't mean you forget. Because when you try to forget what was done, you're going to soon forget how you got there. And when you forget how you got there, you get comfortable. And when you get comfortable, guess what start happening? You don't start making good decisions no more. So always remember what you did and how you did it. So those paths, those journeys and adventures will not be taken again. You will make wiser decisions. I want to talk about the terminology. I want to do a terminology series. I'm probably not going to name it that. And it's going to come to my head. I'm going to write it in the title or the caption because a lot of things that basically why this come to me, I keep having visions. We call them, you say dreams, but I call them visions of things that's happening. And it's nothing to do with the foods I eat. It's nothing to do with the things I watch before I go to sleep. Because pretty much what I try to do, and this is why I don't do it, I don't listen to people that's on the other side of the barn. Why I say that, and what do I mean? If a person is talking about, okay, this is my spirituality, I say, cool. Then I listen to them. You know, now this is one thing that we do have an idea of. We know when somebody is telling the truth. We know when someone is speaking and telling the truth. Like, do they really live their life that way? Do they really act that way? Is that really that person? You pretty much know, listening and hearing my video, I'm pretty much this type of person. You pretty much, you can have a basic understanding of, man, maybe he just do that. I can feel as he's really, and I can feel it. He's telling the truth. It's pretty obvious that he's telling the truth because he lived his life that way. And so since he lived his white life that way, pretty much what he says is pretty much how he live his life. It's nothing. But then you can look at some people. They're very facetious. They're really not honest people. They feel as they gotta fake it till they make it. But you don't have to fake it till you make it. You can kind of ball on a budget. That's another thing. But what I want to speak about is how we use terminologies that we have no understanding. So in the last 10 years, we've been using signs, insignia, symbols that we have no idea where these signs and symbols and insignia came from. But I can tell you some of the signs and symbols that we use, they tried to demonize them. But it's funny. They try to demonize them. But for the people that tried to demonize them, they're using them, but they haven't. We keep saying, "Oh, the Creator will come down and kill them and hurt." No. Why would the Creator come down and kill a person that's actually following what is great? Now, if they're stealing, that's different, which they are. They steal from people. That's where they're going to get penalized at. If I use one of the great analogies of what is no graven image unto man, well, that's not true. Because if we search history, every tribe, clan, horde, village, they had signs and insignias that said and showed us, this is our tribe. Our marking show our greatness of the history of our people. But somehow they put it in a book and told us that's wrong. Wait, that's wrong for me to have a sign of my tribe? But we trying to figure out where we from, but we looking at our bodies. We don't have our signs of our tribes. Thank you, Creator. Getting goosebumps. See, I'm hitting something. I feel good. I feel it. I feel it in my spirit. I feel as I'm opening up my spirituality when I talk about these things, and my enlightenment of the truth. This is the truth. Why did all of a sudden it become evil? Why does that demonic? Why do not the so-called, what the book say, talking about don't have, that was my tribe. I knew who my tribe. If I came across a guy, even look at the greatest people, they had markings on their bodies, and when they say you're not part of me, or you knew who was a traitor because that marking you had, you couldn't get rid of. I'm gonna keep using Wakanda movie as an example. That was another movie that was backed by other race people, and they tried to. A lot of people didn't want it because they knew the truth. We was great. We had a king, and he wasn't a ruler. You know why he wasn't a ruler? Because each tribe was able to fight for that position. It went even through murder. It's just that the one saying, the dude was just angry. But you see you see what he did, and this is what we have become. They call him Killmonger. He got away from the tribe, and his ideals became as them. He was even working with the same guys to get the same artifacts. Think about that. The arts, that is facts. He was working towards the same guys that helped colonize, pillage, that raped, that warred against the world. And you wonder why nobody want to be with those people. But if you look at every race, now every race want to be with that race of man. That type of man. But they are the warmongers. That's why he called himself the Killmonger. Because he's the product of the warmongers. He listened to their ideologies and their ideals. He didn't listen to his people. Because when you start listening to the same people, you start understanding, I don't need to be on code. I don't need to be part of a movement. But I know good and damn well we are different people. It's okay to be different. See, before we were men, we were kings. And as kings, we were warriors and leaders. We wasn't alpha males. We went alpha males. See how that go? We were warriors. Alpha male is the animal kingdom way of showing power over people, and he's not even doing the same work. He's doing less of the work. And when he get older, he assumes a power. He don't even command the power. He don't even earn the power. Because after a while, if you keep abusing your power, the people fight against you. He abuses his power, and people fights against him. And it become a mutiny. So to understand, for us to combat against what's going on against us, we're going to have to fight. I don't want to fight. But I know that's the only way that, and it's called a mutiny. A mutiny is not a militant. A militant is coming against just the government. No, we need to come against a whole race of peoples, more than one race, to get what we need. But if we keep talking and walking, our brother before us, he did the groundwork. He did the groundwork. He never said we shouldn't fight, because he said I'm fighting. He said, but this is how I'm supposed to fight. But he was uplifting brothers to fight, but they took him out. They took a Killmonger. See, they utilized the Killmonger to kill a king, a warrior. Because from that warrior, another warrior was created. We had two warriors in the midst. That means we obviously had two men from different tribes with different views, but they wasn't fighting each other on their view. They was talking. See, when you come to your brother, you don't fight your brother to be free. You don't endanger your brother to be free. You bring ideals in what you have, and y'all put them together so y'all can combat. See, combat is a collective of moves put together to fight. Not a collective of moves to come together to kill each other to become the ruler. No. We come together to be king when it's a set place and time. But we all works together, not follow code. We, quote unquote, we don't follow code. We work together, which we have lost the bond. That's why Killmonger said, but he had this part right. But he was working within their saying systematic indoctrination that he had to kill to be the king. No, you had to fight to be a king. And they showed us as great. But we never make movies when we're great. We only make movies where they subjected us and objectified our women into things in the nature that they wanted us to be. We still haven't made a movie about us. And why I say that, I don't mean the movie Us. I mean a movie that we are great. We are kings. We're not demonizing our men. We're not slut shaming. We're not slutifying, not slut shaming. Slutifying our women. We're not bad mouthing our men. And we're not uplifting our men. We're not uplifting our women and not bad mouthing our women. We still haven't made that movie. We still haven't made that movie when we're together. People say, I never seen that. Well, I did. I got a family. So maybe it's meant for me to make this movie, which I am going to do. My my father's side is doing great. They might have their inner things because we know we intertwined with them. You can't intertwine with a culture or a certain race and not expect to pick up on them if we the only one doing the true intertwining. They're not intertwining. We're coming to them. We're walking over to them and utilizing what they have. But they're using like what we have, but they made what we have demonic. And then learning history of Bohemian people from the Bohemian Islands, they didn't have skull bones and out of their ear. They wasn't shrinking heads. They was practicing the same religion. That's why it's called the same practices, which is not a religion, it's Christianization, but they was practicing voodoo or voodoo baptism. Voodoo was the first stage, voodoo baptism. And actually in voodoo, which is they call it voodoo, it's called voodoo. It's actually practiced by the women in a whole different manner. When we see sexual gratification, actually voodoo is the only belief that actually goes over that. And it explains the woman and the male phallus. That's the only belief. But every other belief don't. They skips over it. They tell you to be abstinent. They tell you to be celibate. They call it fornication. But it don't even explain the sexual joys. It don't even have a section about it. Think about it. It don't. The closest it get, it says her lips was as nectar and her bosom was as milk and honey. That's in the King Songs of Solomon. In the Quran, I forgot what the name. I don't know. I read all the versions of the literatures that they put out in each religion, just about, or seeing different literatures that's associated with their scriptural doctrine and indoctrination that they're reading. So if the Christian, they read the Bible, the King James Version. If you're a Muslim or a Nation of Islam, Quran, the Holy Torah. They call it the Holy Torah, the Holy Quran, but there's nothing holy about them because all of them have been slurred. They all been corrupted. They've been perverse. They've been lied. As in the Nation of Islam, they say you can lie to tell people to get people to come convert, but then have you tell them the truth later. That's a lie is a lie. A lie. This is why I always said this. For me, or for us to believe a lie, which we are doing, all you need is a little bit of truth. Think about it. For this is what I wrote, and this is what came to me. Where's it at? Well, I wrote truth versus fact. Truth's outshining fact because at the end you can't change a fact to make it become the truth. Remember the three-headed dog? And knowing there is not I never seen a three-headed dog before. That was naturally made. I never met a three-headed person. I never met a woman that can birth her own baby. I never met two men that can produce a child either. So where have we become to our people? What have we become? What are we becoming? Are we becoming the best people we can? And what else I want to speak about is what I'm seeing in our nature of the same race men and the same race women. The same race women have took on this. I'm going to come back. I'm going to do this. Selah.